Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me particular pleasure to make two awards tonight. Two members of our society, the 10-Year Club, to Mr. Walt Disney.
Well, thank you.
And Mr. Roy Disney.
Thanks, Joe.
Great. Thank you very much, Joe. And before we conclude the evening's brief and informal program, I've been asked to ask our two honored guests to just say a few words to us in recognition of this very important milestone in our lives and the lives of Disneyland. First, I would like to introduce the president of Walt Disney Productions, chairman of the board, Mr. Roy Disney.
Well, probably a lot of you don't even know me or didn't know me, but I have been here. And with all the rest of you, I've had my nervous moments too. But it has been a wonderful 10 years. And while we have the public to thank for their wonderful attendance, we also have to thank you people that were the key gang in handling that public and in giving them satisfaction and pleasing them and making them come back like they have and have the word of mouth go around the world as it has, as I have seen it in my travels, that far and wide the reputation of Disneyland stands out primarily, even beyond the show itself, for the courtesy of the people handling the public and the cleanliness and friendliness of the place. I've always said in my end of the work that it takes people to run a business. You people have been the heart and the running soul of this business, and we appreciate it no end, and we say congratulations to you for doing the grand job that you have done all these 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the boss, Walt. Walt.
I can go back beyond 10 years on this deal. I remember a few little things that went on before the opening. I was trying to put a show together for the Golden Horseshoe. Well, I'd known Donald Novus for years, and Donald had been around to see me, and I said, well, there's something we can do. I said, can you get me a comic? He said, yes, I know a fellow I was in Australia with. And he said he's getting a little bored living out of a trunk and traveling around the country, in the nightclub, and he might be interested. So I had a little interview over at the studio. In came this fellow. He had a little bag with him, and in the bag he had a dummy, and he had some other things. He had some bagpipes. He came in there, and we were on the stage all alone, and I said, well, we were trying to put a little show together, I said, this is Disneyland. It's going to be a family place. And he says, well, I have some routines. I've been doing them in the nightclubs. He said, I can clean them up. And he cleaned them up, Oh, I think there's just a little hangover, on a few of those little jokes in there, but it kind of slips by and nobody, realized it. But that was Wally Bogue. And Wally, we've been very happy. We hope you'll stay with us. I hope you've been happy. And yeah. That's my tagline. You stole it from me, yeah. Well, I can go back to Joe Fowler. We went up there. We had to have somebody, that could really put this thing together. Somebody that could take a hold of this thing and really make it work. We were told about this retired admiral had run the San Francisco Navy Yard, the commandant of the Navy Yard who had built ships in China and all of that, and he was starting a subdivision up in San Jose, So I remember we went up to see him. We went out and met Joe at his home, his lovely wife, and we had dinner there, and we had steaks. They were wonderful, And so we sort of prevailed upon him to come down and kind of be a consultant for us and things. And little by little, we got him sort of trapped into the thing, got him so wrapped up in it that he said, to hell with the subdivision. And I think he owns half of Newport Bay or something now. I don't know. Well, we had a lot of problems putting this thing together. There was pressure from money. A lot of people didn't believe in what we're doing. And we were putting the squeeze play where we could. I remember that we were dealing with all three networks. They wanted our television show, and I kept insisting I wanted this amusement park. And everybody says, what the hell does he want that damn amusement park for? And I couldn't think up a good reason except that, I don't know, I wanted it. So I remember we had a session with NBC. They wanted this Disney television show, and we were stubbornly insisting that we wanted to start an amusement park with it. And David Sarnoff was sitting in on that thing. He said, I want your television show, but he says, why do I have to take that damn amusement park? Same thing went for CBS. Yeah, they wanted the television show, but this insistence on backing an amusement park. ABC needed the television show so damn bad that they bought the amusement park. Well, 5 years later, my brother figured we better buy those guys out. They had a third interest. They only had $500,000 invested in that park. But my brother figured, he said, if we don't buy them out now, we're going to be paying them a lot more later. My brother paid them after 5 years, $7.5 million for their $500,000 investment. And it was a smart move that he did it then, Well, my brothers had the worries of getting this money and fighting the bankers and things. And there was a time, I think it was after we opened the park, that our bankers said to my brother, they said, oh, about that damn amusement park, we're not going to let you put another nickel in it. And my brother said, well, if you're going to start running our business, we're going out and find some other place we can borrow money. And by gosh, they finally gave him the money. But it's been nip and tuck. I mean, when we opened, if we could have bought more land, we'd have bought it. Then we'd have had a control, and it wouldn't look too much like a second-rate Las Vegas around here. We'd have had a better chance to control it. But we ran out of money, and then by the time that we did have a little money, everybody got wise to what was going on. We couldn't buy anything around the place at all, Well, a lot of people don't realize that we had some very serious problems here, keeping this thing going, getting it started. I remember when we opened, if anybody recalls, we didn't have enough money to finish the landscaping, and I had Bill Evans go out and put Latin tags on all of the weeds. And, we had a lot of inquiries about this. Well, that's a fact. You asked Bill Evans. Of course, every weed to Bill Evans has got a Latin name, But this time, 10 years, I want to join my brother in paying thanks to all you people who've been here with us and been a part of making this thing come across. But I just want to leave you with this thought that it's just been a sort of dress rehearsal, and that we're just getting started. So if any of you start to rest on your laurels, just forget it. Because I've had Dick Nunes on my tail, and he says, we've got to take care of these people. He's got me working harder than I've ever worked before, trying to enlarge the park to take care of the extra millions he thinks we're going to gain every year. Now, he's got us working hard, honestly. I mean, he says, Walt, he said, we got to expand Fantasyland. We've got to expand this. He said, we got to take, and he shows me this graph where you started out here with 3 million, and the way he's got it going up to 10 million. And he may be right, because this year, I mean, we're just bulging at the seams there. But we do have plans to expand it, to open up areas that it's like a sponge. You have to have these areas to absorb the people, And we hope to have these things going. We have a whole new plan for Tomorrowland. We have, of course, of our plans for New Orleans and eventually the Haunted Mansion. We have a new Fantasyland coming. That'll be in next year. And really, we've got about $40+ million worth of stuff planned out for the next 5 years. Now, I don't know whether we got the money to do it with, but thank God for Mary Poppins out there. It's I always, my office is above my brother's, and I look down, and when I see him walking on the ceiling, that's the time I go down and say, let's put another 10 million in Disneyland. And lately, he's been walking all around that ceiling. Well, I know you're going to have some dancing. These boys haven't done a damn thing all night. They've been sitting over there on double time, no doubt. And I think that with just a thanks and appreciation to my big brother, to Joe Fowler, to all the boys, the top boys, and all you people down the line who have been a part of this thing. And as I say, we're just getting started. The show goes on next year. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, have fun, dance. It only happens once every 10 years.